Make the morning great with a stop at Whistlestop Donuts on West Main Street in Princeton. Whistlestop makes their donuts fresh daily, and they're ready on your way to work or school. They have a wide variety of fresh donuts, so you can surprise the office with a dozen delicious donuts. Stop by Whistlestop today and enjoy a donut or a dozen. They're open 5 a.m. to noon, Monday through Saturday. Whistlestop Donuts on West Main in Princeton.
And good morning at 8:29. It is Tiger Talk here on your hometown radio station, WPKY. The Tiger, thank you for joining us this morning. I am excited. It's a beautiful, cool, crisp morning. It's toward the holidays, and I have the pleasure of welcoming into the WPKY studios Nelson Green. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to try to get you to scoot up into that microphone just a little bit. There you go.
All right. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you don't have to quite. It's not as good as that Harper House steak. But to eat the mic, I always call it eating the microphone. But yeah, it's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit. Harper House in Katie's, brand new. I drive by there. I have not been yet, but what a building and what a site it is.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We're pretty proud of it. I have a great crew, great staff, and we keep doing what we've been doing for a long time, and we just absolutely love it. It's fantastic.
Well, the Harper House has been going since 2009, and you've been open in Katie's since when?
We opened June 24th of this year after a long period of construction. We're right off of I-24 at exit 65 right there in Katie's, Kentucky.
You can't miss it because when you come off I-24 and you make the drive down towards town, past Broadbents and the gas stations, and you see grain bins.
Yes.
These beautiful silver grain bins.
Big
and
3 48-foot grain bins.
Tell us about the design of the building, because that is part of the really unique aspect of the Harper House. It really just brings you in.
Well, a couple of years ago when we made the move, we were standing out in the middle of a cornfield, actually. And
inspiration.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an agriculturally based community. There's a lot of tourism there, and we stood there and said, what could we do to make it unique? It needs to be a destination.
Yes.
We're trying to attract tourists from all over the country, being located right there on the interstate and on US 6880. And so I looked up the hill, actually, and Seven Springs Farms had some grain bins sitting up on the top of the hill, and I said, hey, do you guys use those? And they were like, well, yeah, we use those. And I said, well, maybe we could pop a couple of them up and, just bring them down here and set them down and open us up a little restaurant. And knowing now, if I'd known then what I know now, I may never have said that. But it
was quite a challenge, though, to convert a grain bin into a restaurant, wasn't it?
As far as we know, they are the very first grain bins that have been permitted for commercial human occupancy in the nation. So it's a pretty unique facility. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely come and check it out.
And I don't want to get into the full scope of details, but I guess you probably had a little bit of an engineering challenge from time to time.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah.
It's been a labor of love for sure. It was difficult to figure out how to get it erected, but it's up now, and it's
operating.
It's operating, and it's beautiful. So the spaces, we have 3 very unique spaces inside the grain bins, one of them being our barbecue concept, Triplets barbecue. But in the front, on the Harper House side, we have the Granary Bar, which is a beautiful bar in the round, so the acoustics are incredible, and we have a baby grand piano that sits atop the bar on a stage, and we have live music every night. So when you come in that room, it is just sensational.
And filled with music.
Filled with
and
music
what a vibe
and
an
sound
atmosphere.
and plates and glasses clanking and people laughing, and it's spectacular.
It's what it ought to be.
Absolutely. It's what we love to do.
Especially after a tough grind, tough day, it's a place you can go. I believe in selling the sizzle, and I believe at Harper House you could probably have a pretty good job of selling the sizzle, I think.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about selling the sizzle at Harper House. You've got quite a culinary team as well.
We do.
And food prep people.
We do. We have an awesome team of people. Our food and beverage director, Brett Clayton, has been with me for a very, very long time. He's 28 years old. He is a spitfire. He works his tail off. He has got a great palate. He absolutely loves what he does, and he's got a culinary team underneath him, from the pit masters all the way down to his sous chefs and his prep people. Everything that we do is fresh. Everything that we do is from scratch. Everything we do is local as possible. And, being located in a place like Katie's, Kentucky.
You can do that.
You can. People don't understand. You go to a big city and, you think you're getting this high-end cuisine, which you are, but they don't have access to what we have access to. We have a friend of mine, Robin Faulkner, with True Milling. We take the grain right there from Katie's, and he mills the best corn grits you ever saw. He's got one that he calls a buckshot grit.
Buckshot
it's
grit.
A little, it's a little bit.
I like grits. You're talking my language.
Absolutely, and we do shrimp and grits is probably one of our most well-known dishes, and we use that buckshot grit and the shrimp and grits, and it's just so neat to be able to look out across the field, see the corn raised, see the corn brought down. They harvest it, and then he mills it, and then it ends up on our plate.
Fantastic. Now tell us a little bit about the food, the philosophy about the dining experience and the food there at Harper House, because it is unique. You've got a neat building that there's no doubt is one of the most unique you can see. So it's obviously a destination point. But then as you enter and have this atmosphere, you take it all in, the beauty of the building, but then the most important aspect of it is the food. So tell us about the philosophy of the food. We talked about the local, using all that, but there's a certain, from everything I've heard, again, I have not been to dine yet, but I hear great reviews from people that have been, oh, you've got to try this and this. But what is sort of you've got the radio audience here. What do you want to tell the radio audience about the food at the Harper House?
Well, we lovingly refer to it as an eclectic Southern steakhouse. We hand cut our steaks in house. We get to use Seven Springs Farms owns Jolly Beef. We get to use. We can again look right out across the field and see the cattle in the field. We know how they're raised. They're hormone free, antibiotic free. It's just a really neat opportunity to be able to showcase that, so you can come in and get your center of the plate and just kind of know and feel good about the fact that it came from right there in in the heart of the country.
You're making me want a steak right now, but it's that's not never too early for.
I know. Why didn't I bring any food? I just said I'm slipping. Such a slacker.
Anyway, go ahead.
But we do a lot of homespun dishes. Everything that we do kind of has that heritage background. We try to stick to our Southern roots. I've always said
that's a good thing.
The ingredients speak for themselves. You don't really have to do much to them. You just got to love them.
Right.
Love them and put them on the plate.
Pamp him and baby him along.
Absolutely. There's nothing super fancy about what we do. We just try to find the best things, the best ingredients that we can,
and it's good.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
I might be a little partial.
Well, that's okay. We're talking it up here. Of course, you have the Harper House, but then again, you have a sister restaurant, I guess we'll call it, or a companion restaurant.
She's our sister.
And let's talk about Triplets a little bit as well.
Well, Triplets is a regional heritage barbecue restaurant. Again, the concept is a destination, people that are traveling through, as well as locals. But we wanted to give an opportunity to showcase things that have been done the same way for, decades, hundreds of years even. We smoke all of our meats. We use Southern Pride smokers, all hickory wood that's harvested right in Trigg County, well seasoned, and our hogs and our cattle we use as much locally as possible.
I know you got brisket and beef on the menu.
We do, and there's when I say regional heritage barbecue, what I mean by that is it's the heritage of the local area, but it's the regions of barbecue around the nation. Every region has got its own specialty,
exactly.
And one of the things that we do at Triplets that no one else does is our brisket. We've been working on that recipe. I particularly have been working on that recipe for about 8 years. I've got it down. We ate some the other day, and I just thought to myself, I got it right where I want it. And brisket is a Texas Low Country product. I mean, anyone who's familiar with Texas barbecue knows it's all about the brisket.
Yep.
And not a whole lot of people around here do brisket. And it's something that we do that I think is really neat. We smoke it for about 18 and a half hours. Salt and pepper, because it doesn't need anything else. It just needs to be treated well.
It needs to be quality, though.
And everything comes out of the smoker 3 or 4 times a day. Everything's fresh. We never sell you something that we smoked yesterday, because what makes it so great is the fact that it's, hot and fresh right out of the smoker.
You're not putting it in the fridge and warming it back up.
No, that doesn't happen. It can happen.
No.
It wouldn't be good if you did.
Oh, no. I've been there and done that one, I think, somewhere. I was like,
Absolutely.
Well, it is really cool. You've got a lot of really good things coming up for the holidays as well. We're going to take a short break. We're going to take a String Beans coffee break.
All righty.
And when we come back, we want to talk about.
That's what we need is some coffee.
Well, boy, I can arrange that. I can String Beans. And Nicole, you down there? We might be down for some coffee here in just a little bit. We're going to take a String Beans coffee break. We're going to come back, and we're going to hear about all the great holiday happenings and things going on at the Harper House and Triplets Barbecue over in Katie's. Have Nelson Green here in studio. It's Tiger Talk on this Thursday. It's a business spotlight. We're glad she's here. She's steakless, but that's okay. We will definitely probably sample a Harper House steak sometime really soon. So we'll be back in just a moment after we take this String Beans coffee break. Stay tuned. You're listening to Tiger Talk on WPKY.
String Beans Coffee House in downtown Princeton specializes in made-to-order espresso drinks. Stop by Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to noon and enjoy a pick-me-up. You can also enjoy fresh-baked scones, homemade chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies, and espresso brownies that'll keep you going all day long. They're also open on Saturday from 9 to 2. String Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton. Great coffee and more in a great atmosphere on Lower Main in downtown Princeton.
I think I'm freezing Nelson out here in the studio as we got the heat turned down because the sun's coming through the windows here. But it's kind of snuck.
It's
up.
pleasant. I'm just fine.
Thank
thanks.
you. The holidays are sneaking up. They're here.
They're
basically.
here.
Yeah.
They're on us.
And you've got lots of great opportunities for folks to enjoy the holidays at the Harper House.
We do. Next week will be a big week for us. Of course, the Harper House is open Tuesday through Saturday. We open at 5 p.m. for dinner, and then Triplets Barbecue is open Tuesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. We have a full-service drive-through there, so we're busy. We're open a lot. We're open all the time. But Harper House next week is going to be super packed. On Thursday, we will be open for Thanksgiving from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and we're serving the full spread of Thanksgiving dinner. So I've been telling people, the average family spends, a family of 10, group of 10, spends about $950 in total on Thanksgiving, and it just sneaks up on you. And then between cleaning the house,
you don't know it.
Yeah, you don't cleaning the house and buying the groceries and getting all the people, getting everybody together and putting them up and all that stuff. They just spend a fortune on it. So we decided that we were going to offer Thanksgiving, to kind of take the pressure off people. So if you get to the point next week where you think, you know what,
can't do this.
I just can't get. I've got to, because everybody's busy now.
Yes, they are.
So if you get to the point where you just don't want to fool with it, just grab your folks and come on down. We still have a few reservations left, most of the times during the day, and we'll be serving smoked ham, full turkey spread, our famous brisket, and then all the trimmings, our house trim and cornbread. So it's really a neat opportunity for you to get to spend the time with your family rather than having to spend your time behind the stove and.
And all you got to do is call. You've got a few spaces left.
Absolutely. You can check out our website. You can make reservations right online at harperhouseky.com. There's still we use an online reservation system, so it's super easy. It confirms it for you. You'll know that everything's okay, and we'll call you to make sure that
confirm
that everything's correct.
Yeah.
And then Friday night at Triplets Barbecue, we're doing a little honky tonk, and my good friend Alonzo Pennington will be there. He's amazing. His guitar is like second to none. And he'll be there strumming from 8:30 to midnight. The bar will be open. We're going to be serving some appetizers. So we're going to have a bonfire outside.
That's
Harper
just
House.
Friday night?
No, that's next Friday night.
Friday
the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Woo, boy.
We'll keep the Harper House bar open too, so it'll be really a unique opportunity for people to be able to come and kind of see the property, listen to some great music, do a little boot scooting. It's going to be a big time.
Sounds like a great atmosphere.
It will be
for Black Friday.
And then, as if I hadn't had enough going on that week, Sunday we're starting our first ever brunch. So we'll be open from 10 to 3.
That's on the 26th.
That's on the 26th, yes. We'll be open from 10 to 3, and we're going to be serving some beautiful, big city brunch items. It'll be the kind of place that you can come and sit down and have, brunch is my personal.
How about a mimosa?
Yep, well, we won't talk about that. But brunch is my we will have a full service coffee bar. We got a brand new espresso maker, so we'll have a full service coffee bar, juices, smoothies, hot chocolate, all the good stuff, and then things like skillets and Benedicts and steak and eggs, and we're going to cook eggs to order, which my line guys are a little bit frustrated. They're like, "Why really eggs to order?" But that's okay. I mean, they're great at it.
Breaking out the waffle iron.
Yep, we'll be doing our famous hot chicken and waffles.
Ooh, boy.
So we'll have that on the menu too. But again, brunch is my favorite meal to get together, on a Sunday morning or early Sunday afternoon, especially if you've been out on Saturday night, and have your friends sitting around the table and get to, kind of eat that breakfasty, lunchy stuff. It's just
and you get a choice. If you want to lean more toward breakfast, you can. But if you want to kind of, there's kind of an in between there that works good for everybody.
Absolutely, and I think brunch is going to be something we'll be doing it every Sunday from here on out at the Harper House. So I think brunch is something that, Katie's is kind of missing. There's a big tourist market in Katie's. All the people coming to the lakes and coming to LBL gives them an opportunity
artery to come right through there.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, with the interstate being right there and people traveling, that's a heavily traveled interstate.
And one of the biggest reasons we chose that location was because of the US 6880 expansion.
Right.
I drive across those bridges every day. Sometimes I walk across them. I absolutely love them.
They're
beautiful, and it's an amazing opportunity for this region to grow our tourism. Hundreds of thousands of people a year come to visit LBL. It's a treasure for us to have in our local community, and I take advantage of it every chance I get. But Harper House is located in such a way that you'll be able to check us out if you're coming from that direction. If you're coming from the Murray-Mayfield I-69 corridor area, you can come on down all the way to I-24 and you can visit us. And if you're getting off the interstate at exit 65, you can also stop in and see us.
And that's one thing about the location, I think, of the Harper House is that you can get there several different ways, and it's easy access.
Yes, it's just 1 hour outside of Nashville.
Yeah.
It's Paducah, Bowling Green, Murray, Mayfield,
and it is becoming
Princeton.
A destination.
Absolutely, that's the goal.
That's where you want it, and I know it takes a little time to do that.
Well, the local community has embraced us in a way that I just can't imagine. Like we spoke about earlier, I'm a Christian County girl. I was born and raised in Hopkinsville, but I have converted. I'm sorry to my Christian County friends. I still love you, but I have converted to a Trigg County girl. I live on the lake. Every morning I get up and have my coffee and look out across that water and just think to myself, what and I've lived all over the country. I did a lot of moving around in my younger days, my culinary career, and I just feel so blessed every day to be able to do what I do.
Which is a perfect segue. Let's talk about your culinary career. Let's talk about the inspiration, what inspired this idea, your cooking and your experience with this. I know it's Southern. I hear that in your voice.
But we should probably talk a little bit about the namesake of the restaurant.
Yeah,
if you want to go that direction.
Yeah, that's great.
As a child, I had working parents. I'm again very blessed to have two of the greatest parents in the whole world, and they worked very hard. And so I had a nanny 3 days a week when I was a child. My parents were from Indianapolis, so I didn't have any grandparents down here. We have a very small family, and her name was Miss Harper, Miss Lorraine Harper, and she was something else, I'll tell you. And she was from Julian, Kentucky, and she taught me how to make grits and cream potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and crackling cornbread, and just all of those good old Southern staples. Because she did, she knew. She was raised that way. All the way down from
like my mama.
Exactly. All the way down from pulling a chicken out of the yard and
taking
the
care of it and
whole
getting it
9
prepared.
yards. So I learned a lot from her when I was a child, and I just thought she hung the moon. And
it stuck with you.
She did. It did. And I spent a lot of time with her as a child when my parents were working. And most of what we did was cook and hang out outside, because that's what we did. That's what there was to do. Wow. And we'd spend a lot of time cooking over a campfire, and so I just knew from a very young age that that where food came from.
And she touched something.
Absolutely, it was one of the most important things. And she passed away during my sophomore year in college during finals week. And I was out in Las Vegas. I went to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and I couldn't come home. And it just always broke my heart, to not be able to be there for that. So when I got the opportunity to open up the restaurant, we were trying to think of a name. And one day it just hit me. I was just like, I should name it after Miss Harper, because she's just the best thing there ever was. Yeah, so that's where the name came from.
That is really great. So you studied culinary arts out
I did. Nevada? I went to University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and I got my associates in culinary arts, and then I got my bachelor's in hospitality management, and started working on my master's in marketing. And then the career just kind of took off from there. I worked for MGM Corporation. At that time, it was Steve Wynn, the Bellagio in Las Vegas, and I also worked for Disney. And so the training, that you were that I was able to get from Disney was
they're top notch,
just about the best there is. You know, they have a rule, a process for everything.
Exactly.
So if you get to know that, you kind of teaches you how to run the business.
My
side.
stepmother was a 30-year Disney employee.
Yep.
So yeah,
then you know.
Yeah.
The culinary side is one thing. Being able to cook is one thing, but running the business is, you know, the other side of that is difficult because you're managing. I mean, we have 73 employees. We have 23 full-time employees, and they all have lives. They all have families. They all have, you know, they all have their individual issues. You know, I had one last night call me at 9:30 that needed me, you know, and it just, I'm the mother. I don't have any children of my own, so
Miss Harper.
Miss Harper was my mother,
yeah,
my grandmother.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of the same thing. You know, they're like my children. These kids, a lot of them have been with me for about 10 years.
And it is a close family, isn't it? When you, I mean, I've worked in restaurants all through college, and it's so much fun.
It is.
I mean, you're a huge family. I mean, things get crazy and busy, and glasses get broken, and orders aren't maybe not. But man, it's a great atmosphere to get in there and just dig in there together and put out a great product.
You're not kidding. It's so much fun. I mean,
it is.
When everything's firing on all eight on a Friday night,
it's
and everybody,
awesome.
you know, and these kids work so hard, and they love what they do, and they respect what they do, and they respect the community, and they respect the customer base. They do. And without that kind of mentality, without that kind of organizational, you know, care, you can't really be successful. And it's all about your team.
It is. And if you want that good dining experience, if your team is happy and they're enjoying what they're doing and they see the goal, and it just makes the atmosphere for the diners so much better.
And I think that they see it. Our customer service has always been one of the things that
stands out.
You know, it sets us apart from the rest. We spend a lot of time training. Actually, we just released our winter menu yesterday. It was our I'm probably wrong when I say this, but it was probably our 14th menu. We change the menu twice a year. We do a summer menu, you know, just based on ingredients.
Yes, exactly.
And we do a summer menu and a winter menu. So I sat the entire staff down yesterday, all 26 of my service staff and all 14 or 15 of my kitchen staff, and they come together during that day, and they sit down, and we put all the food out, and they all get to eat it, you know, which doesn't bother them a bit, free, you know.
Can I? Where did I sign?
Exactly, the free food.
Yeah.
But we just released our new pork chop yesterday.
Tell us about that.
It is a bone-in pork loin. Double bone-in pork loin.
And it's always a little better with that bone in there.
Absolutely,
it just flavors it up just a little bit better.
That's
little marrow kind of. It's just
that's the way it needs to be.
Yes.
And then we brine it, obviously, and then we smoke it, and then it's finished on the grill. We have a South Bend 1600 degree grill, which is a neat thing for us to be able to have.
You're selling the sizzle. I love it.
And it really is a sensational dish. Some of the other dishes we're doing lasagna. We're doing a nice lasagna bolognese for the winter.
That always hits the spot on a good cold winter night.
We do what we call a country boy charcuterie. You know, charcuterie is posh. It's real snobby, big in the big cities.
Yes. Thurston Howell the Third.
All this cured meat and cheeses and these expensive cheeses from Europe, and you don't know what they are, and everybody tries to pretend they do, but we'll let them do that in the big city. We're doing our baby back ribs, our smoked brisket, and our ginger cured pork belly. We do it with a fresh Wisconsin cheese curd, a smoked Gouda, and a homemade pimento cheese. We serve it with saltine crackers and our house pickles. I mean, it just is love on a plate. And it's enough for 2 or 3 people to sit down, get a cold beer or a really dry martini or a nice bourbon off of our Heritage Bourbon list and enjoy some of that charcuterie.
Wow, what a nice atmosphere it
it's
sounds
good
like.
stuff.
Yeah, it sounds really great. Holiday season is busy. Now, we want to refer folks to your website again as well. You have a Facebook page.
We do.
Of course, everybody's social, it's all about social media this day and age. And so we want to make sure that you check out the Harper House on Facebook.
Absolutely.
And you can
you can follow us on Instagram.
Instagram as
I don't
well.
Snapchat.
No.
Everybody's always on me to Snapchat, but I don't either.
I'm not quite
Snap what? I can't do it.
No, I can't do that. But
nor do I tweet.
I have a Twitter account, but I rarely tweet. But it's good in some. That thing is valuable in some ways. But where can folks, if they're listening to this and they haven't been, where can they see some pictures of that wonderful I know there's pictures out
Oh,
there.
our Facebook page is
Yes.
loaded with them.
So go out there and take a look and check out the atmosphere if you have not been. of
And all the Harper House KY photos, too. You know, you
Yes.
can go to harperhouseky.com and see all the...
Your menu out there, I think, is out there as well.
It is.
And
It's everywhere.
yeah. And what a fabulous menu it is. What a wonderful holiday season. Write it down. Get online there and make your reservations. They're going to have Sunday brunch starting on November the 26th. The Friday night at Triplets on Black Friday is going to be awesome.
Yes,
It's
it
almost
will.
going to be a campfire hangout.
Honky tonk.
Honky tonk and a boot scoot boogie.
It might just be because I like to dance.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Me and all my girlfriends got to cut a rug every now
There
and
you
then.
go. And Alonzo, Alonzo's played
He's the
our,
best.
my high school reunion, and man, we have him in studio, and we're so proud of him.
He's
and
that
his
guitar
family here.
player.
Oh, he can do it, and so it sounds like a great time on that is the 24th. That is the day
Yes.
after Thanksgiving, and of course you're having Thanksgiving at the Harper House.
Come on down.
And check out the menu. You can go to their sites, check out the menu, and make your reservations today for that, and get the number. Let's throw out your number. Just
The number for the Harper House is 270-874-2858, and Triplets is 512-0205. And you can call Triplets ahead of time. We do full service catering, from 10 to 10,000.
Yeah, so if you if you've got that winter wedding coming up, you've got a family gathering coming up, and you've just
Corporate events.
corporate events,
We book a lot of corporate
and
events.
you've got a banquet facility
We have
as
a
well.
full banquet facility, full AV capabilities. It seats. It'll hold 180 standing room only, and it'll hold 140 seated. Plus, it's got its own private patio with a fire pit, and it's a really neat, unique space.
Man.
Indoor, outdoor,
Wow.
taking advantage of that rural country beauty.
And it is. There's nothing like a look across that field back there, and being in Cadiz and Trigg County. It's a special place.
It is.
And we are all blessed to.
We're so proud of it.
Yeah, well, you ought to be. It's a beautiful area. It's a beautiful building, and the food is fantastic. I don't know if I'm going to make it to lunchtime now, but
Well, we'll head over to Triplets if you'd like.
I'm telling you. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you so much
And
for having me. It was my pleasure.
Happy holidays. And folks, if you're out there listening, we're going to upload this, of course, to the WPKY online site. And we'll have all the dates and everything for all these events coming up at the Harper House and Triplets barbecues. We want you to be a part of it. It is going to be a wonderful holiday season at the Harper House. And, of course, even when it's not the holidays, it's a wonderful destination for you and your family. And for corporate events, parties, anything, they can handle your needs over there.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Nelson, so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Happy holidays. You have a
Happy
great
holidays
day.
to you.
Okay, at 8:55, and appreciate everyone tuning in to Tiger Talk today. We've had the pleasure of having Nelson Green, owner of the Harper House Triplets Barbecue in Cadiz, and get on their website, get on their Facebook page, check them out. Make your holiday reservations and plans to have Thanksgiving at the Harper House on Thursday, hang out and boot scoot boogie at Triplets on Friday, and then Sunday brunch. You can't beat it. Do get online and check it out and enjoy a tremendous dining experience at the Harper House and Triplets Barbecue. That's going to wrap up this edition of Tiger Talk here on your hometown radio station, WPKY. Thanks again to Nelson Green, Ty Engelbright, saying have a wonderful day, everybody.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is